Hello and welcome to our video on how to complete coursework in Microsoft Office Introductory. To be successful in this course, you will have to create documents using document design and proper software use. In each of the units, you will have assessments such as guided practices, exercises, assignments, and projects. The key to successful completion will be to know how to complete the coursework in an efficient and timely manner. Also making sure that you don't skip steps or readings. What's important to note is that these assessments are linked. In other words, to move on to the exercises, you need to have successfully completed the guided practice. Similarly, with the assignment, you must have completed the exercise, and for the project, completed the assignment. So it's important that you know how to function through your coursework. Here are the 6 steps that will help you to be successful. The first one is to gather your resources. The next one is to open the assessment you are working on the Moodle course page. Thirdly, you'll want to open your eBook, which is always shown in your e-browser. Next, you'll want to open up the related Microsoft Office app. You want to make sure that you'll place that Office app beside your eBook in your browser. Next, you'll want to complete the steps and readings in the book as directed, following the steps very closely and taking notes on the readings. You'll need the steps to complete it successfully. You'll need the readings to understand document design for the knowledge check and, well, the projects. Lastly, when you are done and you have all the files that are indicated on the Moodle page, you will submit them in Moodle for grading. Once successful, then you can go on and complete the next assessment. The first step will be to gather your resources. You will need a computer, such as a desktop computer or a laptop. More importantly, you will need Microsoft Office 365 or Microsoft Office 2019 to complete the assessments in this course. Another handy thing to have as you complete the readings will be a notebook, so that you can take notes about the concepts and the documents that you'll be creating in the assessments and lessons. It's more important to know how to design a document than just being able to click your way through the software. The second feature, which will come in handy, will be a set of headphones, which you can use to listen to the videos and assessments without interference from people around you, and so that you can hear things clearly. Once you have your resources, you're ready for the next step. The next step will be to open the assessment that you're going to work on in Moodle. To do so, you'll log into Moodle and you'll end up at myclass.norquest.ca. Here is the main course page, which you should see. For every unit, there's a set of lesson sets. At the beginning of every lesson set is a guided practice. So to begin that, we open it up. Inside this guided practice, we see the assessment, what it is for marks and the outcomes. But most importantly, we see the steps. These are the things that we will have to follow very closely in order to complete the guided practice. Up here, we are provided a guide, which you should use to see that you're doing it correctly, but you need to complete the steps in the book. Lastly, there's a presentation here to help you that you can work through as a slideshow to walk you through some of the steps that you'll do more completely through the book. So when we come back here to the practice, the steps will be to read Word Module 1, creating, formatting, and editing a Word document with a picture. You will complete each of the bulleted tasks seen in red. You will save your document frequently. Lastly, you're going to submit these 3 documents here listed when you submit it, but we'll get to that soon. Now you're ready for the next step, which would be to open your book. The next step will be to open your ebook. To do so, you should have purchased it already. It is the ebook. It is not the MindTap or the SAM version, and you should have purchased it directly. Once you've purchased it, you should be able to get it from the Cengage library. One handy thing to note is that this ebook is always displayed in your browser. You can't open it in another app or another file. One handy way to stay on top of this is to bookmark it. You'll see here that I have my Cengage Learning Library booked here on my page. Another useful hint, because we want to keep our Moodle page open and the ebook at the same time, we're going to right click on the bookmark and go open in New tab. Here we'll see our new tab. We'll click on it and there is our library. The textbook I want is the Office 365 and Office 2019 Introductory. I'm going to click on it and it will open in the new tab. At this point, if I want to, I can close my particular library. Over here, we'll see the table of contents for the book. And over here, we'll see the screen that we need. What we want to make sure is we're on the appropriate page. So the directions in Moodle told me to go to Module 1. And here we are. Nice. So once we have that done, we're ready for our next step, which is to open the Office app. Our next step will be to open the Microsoft Office app that we are working with. In this case, Microsoft Word. One of the things that we do want to do, though, is we want to keep our ebook open and our app open at the same time. We want them side by side so that we can read the directions, do the readings, and complete the steps and do them in the app. So to do so, I'm going to hit the Restore Down button here on my ebook in my browser. And then I'm going to open up Microsoft Word, which you can see that I've done already. To do so on yours, you may have to go to the Start menu, scroll down to the W's, and find Microsoft Word and open it. And here we have a brand new blank document. To help with viewing, we can hide the side pane on the left by clicking on this little button here with the 3 lines and the little arrow. And there we go. We are ready to read and do. As I scroll down to read, and once I'm finished, I hit the next page to take me to the next step. There, now we have it. Our Office app is open. The next step will be to complete all the steps and readings as seen in the book, and to complete them using the Microsoft Office app, which in this case is Microsoft Word. When you move through the book, you'll see readings. For example, this one here, Project Flyer with a picture. It's important that you do the readings here because this information will be tested on the knowledge quizzes, but also you'll be asked to create your own flyer using these standards and conventions in the project assessment. So as you come here, it tells you the different parts of a flyer. These are things that are typically expected in flyers. This is part of the document design element of the course. As you go on to the next page, you'll see some more information. And then here we arrive at the steps. Here we see the nice bold 1 in red, which means it's a step. You'll see that there are typically 1 to 2 steps in Word. The temptation will be to look at the final document and try to recreate it yourself. However, doing so, you'll miss some key learnings and some key steps, especially with the guided practice where you're measured and assessed for completion. You'll want to make sure that you complete each thing step by step. I know it takes a fair bit of time, but this is how you will learn and have the chance for practice. As you go through the steps, every once in a while, you'll see a request that will say, if requested by instructor. Assume that the instructor has said yes and complete the request. Lastly, at some point, you may be asked to print it. At that point, you will print it as a PDF. To do so, you'll go File, Print, and choose Microsoft Print to PDF as your printer. In the end, the document will appear as a PDF. You will choose where to save it. This is key because you'll have to submit the PDF with your assignment. So here we are completing our assignments. One of the things that you'll also want to do is to save and save often. When you save, use the names that are provided in the text. In this case, we are asked to save this one, and we're going to save it in our own particular folder that we've created for this module in courses. So here we have Word. There's the folder. There is the name SCWD1 Wash Hands Flyer and Formatted. This is part of workstation operations, keeping your files organized in a place so that you can easily access them, revise them, and share them and whatnot. And once you've done, hit save. Yes. So as you continually work through, remember to have your save button and click on it. That will keep you from losing anything. So if you go in and complete the readings and the steps, taking notes on your readings and following the steps closely, you'll be successful at your guided practices and other assessments. Once I've completed the guided practice and I've reached the summary page, I am now ready to do the final step, which is to submit my documents. Here on the right, you can see the finished product from the guided practice. As well, when I open up my special Word folder, which I've saved, I can see all 3 documents that I needed to submit. So for my last step, I simply need to go back into my Moodle page, which I kept open. I'm in the guided practice, and below there'll be a submissions line. I can make sure that I've got all 3, that I've followed all the directions, and then I'm ready to go, and then I hit submit. Once it's submitted, my instructor will grade it within a reasonable time. I'll be able to see my grades and then move on to my next assignment. And that's how we complete coursework. As you complete your coursework, remember these 6 steps. Gather your resources. Second, make sure you open the assessment page you need in Moodle, in this case a guided practice. Thirdly, open your eBook. Fourthly, beside it, open the app, which in this case was Microsoft Word. 5, make sure that you complete the steps, each one of them one by one, and that you complete the readings and take notes. Lastly, when you have all the files ready and you've completed it and you're satisfied, then open up your Moodle again and submit your assignment on the page for grading. I hope this video has been helpful for you to answer any questions you've had about completing coursework. As a reminder, don't stay stuck. Reach out to your instructor if you need any help or assistance. Take care.